You're listening to the KATcast, a weekly podcast from the staff you love to listen to each weekday on 94.3 Cat Country. Killian Hart and Jordan J. Now, here they are, talking about life, love, and everything mid-Missouri.
And we're back at it again. I took a week off because of CMN. We had the Children's Miracle Network, which was
great
super successful, by the way.
I'd like to say.
Yes, great success. Yeah, that was awesome. So, with everything going on, we had to take a week off from that. But we're back at it again, and this time we're talking travel.
Yeah.
Places we've been, places we want to go, and where you think we should go. Keep it PG, kids.
Oh, people will tell us where to go.
I know.
I'm just saying. Open that door too wide.
What about you, Kevin? How about let's start with you. Have you ever been out of the country?
I've been to Canada.
You've been to Canada?
Oh, no, actually, I stand corrected. I've also been to the Bahamas on a cruise and all. You know, so the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And so probably 3 countries. Isn't like St. John one of those? Isn't that like a foreign country too?
Maybe.
I think so, actually.
I
think
know
so.
the Bahamas is a separate country, and it's either St. John or St. Thomas.
Something like that.
So I guess I can technically say I've been to including Canada, 3-4 countries.
You were the Bahamas. You've been to pirate country.
I guess.
Right? Did you go to Nassau or however you say?
There was just a whole lot of people offering to braid your hair for $1. That's all.
I know they weren't offering to braid your hair.
No. Even then, I was...
Be like, if you can braid this, I'll be impressed.
Even then, I was follically challenged, but, so...
I'm catching up to you, Kevin. Don't worry.
Little by little, yeah.
That's
but, Jordan, it's funny because... Jordan is the youngest among us, but he is the great world traveler, really.
I know.
You are.
How'd that work?
It's amazing.
No, yeah, I've been to Mexico twice. I've been to Ireland, which is beautiful, by the way. Here's the thing. So, had a great time in Mexico. Went the first time, didn't really speak any kind of Spanish. Mm-hmm. And then I went back after, having not only, I had Spanish in high school, I took Spanish in college, so I actually could speak it.
And now I speak Spanish.
A little bit, loosely, right? And, it just made the experience of the country night and day, because you go in not knowing how to ask for anything to understanding some things, and it made the experience much more enjoyable. But let me tell you too, Dublin though, we went to Dublin, Ireland, amazing, and your phone doesn't even capture the camera doesn't capture how beautiful and green the country really is.
Oh, I bet.
You take the picture and you're like, it looks dull compared to what your eyes are seeing in front of you.
This isn't what I saw.
Yeah. It's truly a place you have to go to.
So the husband, that's funny that you mentioned that, because the husband and I, that's been on our list forever.
Oh, it's...
And actually, Saturday, we're going to go talk to a travel agent about, what are our options,
That's awesome.
Yeah, is it best to go with a group? Is it best to not? All that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, hopefully planning a trip very, very soon.
See, Emily surprised me. It was for our, what was it? Honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing you do after you get married.
What's the word? Yeah. So we went, and she surprised me with a Game of Thrones tour. And so we got to go to locations that they filmed in Ireland, which was nuts. So I where the Winterfell, I actually was in Winterfell. I got to see the place that they filmed at.
Cool.
For that, I got to see a whole bunch of film locations.
That's cool.
It was something else. I was nerding out the entire time.
Oh, of course you were. How could you not?
I know. Yeah. So we got to see where they meet the dire wolves at the first part or whatever. Yeah. And you cross that bridge and you're like, this is literally it. You're like, it all looks. There's no snow on the ground, but they used fake snow for that, by the way.
For Game of Thrones,
but it was
makes sense.
But it wouldn't last under the heat of the lights.
Hundreds and hundreds. It was crazy. They said they blew all sorts of fake snow. They had tarps everywhere, and there's even a tree, and they still marked it. They just decided to it's little spray paint on the tree for it was where they started the film location at. It's kind of cool.
A bit of a sidelight here, but whenever you see in the movies or TV show a shower scene, somebody in the shower, it has to be cold water. Because they can't do hot water because
the steam and stuff would fog it up. Yeah,
so they have to use cold water.
Interesting fact.
And they have to, I guess, pretend obviously, ooh, this feels so good.
Whatever, I'm not that good in acting.
It's miserable. I hate cold showers. Those are the worst, man.
It's the worst, man. Well, I'll tell you, I'm extremely jealous of you, Jordan, because Ireland has been on my bucket list.
If you like castles, the Cliffs of Moher are amazing.
Yeah.
It's just, dude, it's...
Yeah, the husband and I, we talked about this on our first date. That was one thing that we really clicked on, is if you could go any place, where would you want to go?
Yeah.
We were Ireland.
Yeah.
And we never took a honeymoon. So because we were broke. And not that things have gotten a ton better, but I've at least saved some money, over the years. So we're going to try to shoot for it.
Did you go to the St. James Brewery? That's where Guinness is.
Oh,
delicious.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, and again, for me, and all the stuff you mentioned sounds great. The castles and all. A big part of it is genealogy for me.
Oh, yeah. See, me too.
I've done so much genealogy, and I know where my great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather were, and the building is still there. The original building, the foundation is anyway. And I've had people say in that town, they go, "Oh, if you're ever here, come stay with us," And it's like, "Your family." And I go, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome! I gotta go," But England, Ireland, that is my dream trip.
Yeah.
And my wife keeps teasing me with this. She goes, "Well, I'm thinking maybe next year." I go, "Don't you promise if we're not going to do it, woman?"
You should go to Dublin Castle. They have that. It's a beautiful. Yeah, it's actually where the Star of St. Patrick is located at.
Yeah.
Like you can actually go and it's a real thing. Like some people are like, it sounds like a myth. It's like the Star of St. Patrick, but you're like, it's a real thing that you can see. It's so cool. But also like there, they have like these motion detectors everywhere because like they still have like. Some of like the real crystal glass, like in silverware they use and all this kind of stuff. That's
Don't you
like
be touching that,
dude. If you set those off, you get kicked out immediately, and you can never come back. Yeah.
I've been banished from my own country.
So Kevin would be the first to be like, no, they can't tell me what to do. I'm
I'm an American.
If you touch it, you will never return.
Take him to the ship now.
Yeah.
No!
And they do these things too called lock-ins. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Where it's
Lock-ins,
like, literally at nighttime, like when the pubs are supposed to close, they'll just lock the doors and then you can stay like overnight there. Like just, they'll drink all night long. Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like,
I'm too old for that.
It's straight up like you walk onto the set of a movie. Like you picture what an Irish pub would be like in your mind, and it's that minus the fighting. Like I know you're always like, oh, drunk Irish fighting brawls. But it's like, no, that's not what happens, man. Like, but they're very jolly. They sing. They have all their like kind of folk songs that they love. It's amazing.
I'll tell you. I think I might have told Erin this the other day, but did I ever tell you the most Irish thing ever? Guy walks into a bar in Ireland, and it's like 9:30 in the morning, and the bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't open till 10." And the guy says, "All right, well, I'm just gonna have a seat here and wait." He goes, "Oh, that's fine." The bartender comes up to me and goes, "Would you like a drink while you're waiting?" The most Irish thing ever,
Erin, what about you? Where you been?
Mexico. Yeah, I've been to Mexico. That was when I was 18. And my brother lived in Tempe, Arizona, and we drove down there.
That's a great story.
Oh, we told the story on the podcast.
I know, but I don't even know which story, which podcast it was, but
to reference.
Go back and listen to all of them and find the story.
Yeah.
All 18 of them now.
Long story longer, it was before any of us goobers had cell phones or any type of communication devices like that.
Is this the Ivan story?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this story. This story's so good.
Can you do a Reader's Digest version of it?
Okay. So we were supposed to stay down in Mexico with my brother's buddy who had a condo down there. It was going to be great until I saw a sign after we'd been looking for this place for quite a while that said that it was coming. It was being built in, was it 99? Well, it was like 1998 at that point. Or no, sorry. It was 96 at that point.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, hey, we got a problem. It's being built next year.
Right.
It doesn't exist. I go, you got the name wrong. I go, we need to try to figure it out. We couldn't figure it out. By then, the border had already closed. I don't even know if it does that.
American woman on the other side of Mexico, and the border is closed. So what could possibly go wrong?
At 3:00 in the morning, we find ourselves in a bar where we're talking to a very drunk Russian man named Ivan. And Ivan was like, my friends, I've been in your predicament before.
Doesn't it sound like the beginning of a movie?
You come home with me. And us girls are like, no. And my brother's like, okay. So there went the five of us. And this all could have ended very badly. I mean, like, the more I think about it, like, I didn't tell my parents about this.
Of course not.
For years and years and years, because my brother's so trusting and I'm not. So we slept
Ivan.
on a mattress. There's like no sheets, or it's just a mattress, no pillows, no nothing.
Everything okay in there, ladies?
Yeah, my sister-in-law, my best friend, they're trying to sleep. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm not sleeping.
I'll keep first watch.
I got the one chair in the room jammed up underneath the door. We've got like, what not that we're like rich or anything, but we had a couple of little rings and stuff. Oh, let's stick them in our bras because we didn't want anything to happen. Yeah. So the next morning, poke my head out. And I look downstairs, there's my brother and his buddy. They're on couches with like pillows and blankets. And it's like, we had a beach towel that we had.
And you were freezing all night.
It was freezing. Freezing. There's no curtains on the windows, nothing. I mean, it was just cold. And, Ivan turned out to be a good dude. He went down to like the local market and hooked us up with some muffins and stuff and coffee.
Awesome. That was so cool.
And, he was all like, oh, you're my friends if you ever come back. And I'm just thinking, I'm never coming back.
Here's my address in Moscow.
But here's the thing. Yeah. What an awesome dude to run into, though. Of everything that could have happened, right? Like, best case
your
scenario.
vacation savior.
Again, he did. He was. But again, could have turned out horrible.
Yes.
This was like the best case scenario of what could have happened,
For sure. That 100% though, does that not sound like a movie where it's like...
Oh my gosh, it sounds like the beginning of like a Stephen King flick or something.
Exactly.
Trapped behind the border.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The Aaron Hart story.
I got dibs on this screen.
We need to write a screenplay.
Yeah.
It could have ended badly, but that was all ends well. But like
starring Sally Field as Erin Hart.
We do have the same bang. That would work. He's a smidge smaller than me, just a smidge.
Javier Bardem is your brother. How about that?
That's pretty accurate. That could work. Yeah. But no, actually got my passport, and my brother's girlfriend and I were taking a cruise in July. So pretty excited about
First
that.
cruise you've ever done.
Really
First
cool.
cruise I've ever done.
Oh, you're gonna love it, man.
See, I've never been on a cruise. I've always wanted to, but
I'm trying to remember where all we're going. Belize, Ecuador, and Costa Rica. No, Mexico. We're going to another...
Maybe Ivan will find you again.
I hope not.
Oh, Erin, my friend.
Ivan's going to be on the cruise.
I was a lot different.
I have been waiting 25 years for you.
A little bit longer than that.
I have a room for you and a blanket this time.
If you got a blanket, I'm in then.
You get up on the cruise and all of a sudden it's like Ivan's Muffins. It's like one of the places you can shop at.
Oh, you got to tell us if Ivan is there.
I'm making Ivan's gluten-free muffins. I'm in.
Oh, I did not know about the gluten-free need. I would have accommodated you, dear Miss Erin.
Did you, when you were in Mexico though, did you go, did you see anything else, or is it just the...
the beach was a big thing for me because I'd never seen the ocean.
Yeah.
I've been in Missouri my whole life.
Yeah.
I'd flown to different states for basketball tournaments and stuff, but I'd never been out of the country. So that was a big thing to actually see the oceans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd see like the fishing boats going out. Dolphins were like...
jumping around.
And of course, I didn't realize you could buy so much stuff on the beach. Like silver rings and blankets. Of course,
yeah.
And, stemware. I mean, if they're making it, they're selling it there on the beach. But I do remember having one too many margaritas and my brother and I reenacting the scene from Titanic in the ocean. So we were...
Were you the king of the world?
No, it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it's dark out, real bright, right? And, we're sitting there treading water, and we're like 25 feet from each other, and I'm like, Jack! Jack!
I'll never let go.
And he's all like... just being dumb.
We went on a cruise. It was like 1990 or 91, I forget. And the radio station in Pennsylvania that I was working for at the time, they sent myself and my wife. And it was a contest, like it was a listener contest, and win a cruise, with Kevin Hilly, blah, blah, blah. So
how come you're not doing a contest like that now?
So it didn't cost us anything to go.
Yeah.
And one couple of listeners, won, which was, then they turned out to be pretty cool people. But here's the thing. On the cruise, we had a number of ports of call, of course. Puerto Rico was one of them. That was cool. And then the Bahamas and whatnot. Yeah. Well, the thing is, in Puerto Rico, the whole thing about don't drink the water if you're not a native? It's so true.
I got a story.
And I didn't realize. We're sitting there, and I had, some kind of alcoholic drink, whatever it was. And then we get back on the ship, and suddenly old Montezuma decides to hitch a ride with me and my wife. So we were, this... 30-ish couple at that time, and all the rest, there's all these other like honeymoon couples and everything on the ship, and all of a sudden I'm heaving over the side, and these couples are looking at me in horror, like, oh, he's vomiting, and then you think I'm done, I'm like, okay, I think I'm over it. Oh, it's over the side. Meanwhile, my wife is down in the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Because that was the only toilet on the ship.
Yeah.
And she's losing it from the other end.
Yeah.
It was fun, man.
See, that was my experience.
Don't drink the water.
So it was funny because I was tempted too. So we went to go to see Chichen Itza first off, which is, I don't know if it's like an Aztec temple, Mayan temple.
Pyramids.
Yeah, it's really cool. Long story short, I got to see some of it. My mom decided to pack for me. I went with my wife, and she's like, "Hey, I packed your contacts and all this kind of stuff. I did all that so you could take care of all this other stuff." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom." Realized that she didn't pack me contact solution. Oh. She packed me fingernail polish remover. Ooh. And guess what? Soaking that in your contacts all night long. So here's the thing. They were kind of shriveled a little bit, and I was like, "What's happening here?" So like I'm like re-wetting them and stuff. I put them back in my eyes. Were you blind? Fire, dude. No, but I looked like a demon. My eyes were so red. And so then I couldn't see for half the trip.
Oh my God.
There's a beautiful, it starts to rain. They say there's like this waterfall coming down the pyramid, and they're like, "Look at this once in a lifetime event happening right now." And I'm like, "What? What's it look like?"
Describe it to me.
But we did this like excursion or whatever. You say, not drinking the water.
Yeah.
And we did this cool like, it was a mix of it's like zip lining with also like water slides. It was like the coolest experience. And anyway, you climb this ginormous tower, and at the very top, after this excruciating hot Mexico plateau day, right? There's not a tree or shade in sight. You get up to the top of this tower, and what's tempting you up there? This water fountain.
No.
And guess what? Not even thinking at the time, gulping it down. I just, and then all of a sudden, my wife turns to me. She goes, "Did you just drink out of that water fountain?"
Oh my gosh!
I was like, "Yes." Bad experience. Yep. So I relate to your wife's experience.
I am the red-eyed demon. I drank the water from the top of the pyramid.
I was blind half the trip, and unknown horrors were happening to my
body.
Looking
at you like.
So would you guys ever want to do like an African safari?
I think that'd be cool.
That's always kind of been like up on my list to, see all the lions.
It would be interesting.
And elephants and everything.
That would be
cool. Did you hear about the one recent tour, like they're driving around in their little car and everything, and here came a lioness, and she actually got into the vehicle with everybody.
She's really?
It's one of those open air ones. Yeah.
Just right in there?
She didn't hurt them or anything. She's riding with them.
Well, I mean...
Oh, goodness sakes.
Yeah.
We're looking at Erin showing us a video. Oh, my gosh, that is cool, man.
Well, I don't know if it's cool, because,
so far she's not doing anything wrong.
She's just rubbing her head on, but my goodness.
Like a giant house cat.
But but how intimidating. He's like, a lion is wanting to lick my face.
Everybody,
but that's just it.
Don't look in her eyes.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not all big house cats.
No.
So,
I was going to tell you, speaking of, speaking Spanish, that in Puerto Rico, one thing I'd say, I took 4 years in high school and I aced it all the way through.
Yeah.
And a couple of years in college, I did really well. But I never, in my circle, I never really had much of a chance to speak Spanish or use it. Puerto Rico, I did. And we were standing there and we needed some directions, and I stopped the guy, I said, and I'm asking him in Spanish, hey, how do I get to whatever? And he goes, va la izquierda, and he's doing, and I got the whole, conversation with him, and we're walking away. My wife goes, wow, that was really impressive. I go, hey, I know, now I speak Spanish. But it was, I really did. It was kind of like, it was freeing.
I'm kind of wondering what you said to that poor gentleman.
No, it's seriously, it's a different experience when you can actually speak a native language than when you're going somewhere, especially if you're going out of the country. If you can speak their language, it gets you. You have leaps and bounds of an experience better than what you would have.
I always expect everybody to speak English too. No matter where we go.
Yeah.
We go to Denmark. Oh well, you should be speaking English. Why? Where?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're in their country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Although I guess English is like the most.
It is. It's French
Isn't
number one.
Like is that what it is?
Or it's English, French, English. One or the other. Yeah.
English is hard to learn too.
I don't know. If I don't know a language, I just smile a lot and I point at what I want or need.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're playing charades.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Sounds like two words.
And I say sorry a lot. Like they,
Lo siento.
Yeah. Well,
got to swim in a cave in Mexico, dude. That was cool.
That'd be fun.
Although creepy when you can't touch the bottom. You're like, it's
that's one of the
things
things I'm doing in Belize is I'm rafting through a.
You're gonna like that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a fun experience.
Actually, it's tubing through an underground cave.
That's
so I'm
cool.
pretty excited.
If you do fall out of the tube, though, not saying you will, but if you do, I would take some water shoes.
Have you met me?
Yeah, I was gonna say. take water shoes with you just in case you do, because I'd hate for like one, I can't remember, is it stalactite, stalagmite, one's the up, one's the down.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
They'll be in the water too sometimes,
Yeah.
especially at like a cave. So like, I don't want you'll shred your feet. I don't want you to slice your foot open.
Fun
So-
little
And I'll take my
experiment.
one international call to be like, Jordan,
I know. Yeah.
you know what happened?
You know,
This costs $30 a minute here.
Exactly.
a fun little experiment while you're there. Try drinking the water. See what happens. Because we
Oh, no, I'm
both
going to bring
have.
some back for you to drink.
No, I've already
Yeah, it's
been
going to be
there.
a fun game. Everyone
Come on,
can play
everyone.
along.
Why are you wishing that upon Erin?
No, I'm not wishing anything. I'm saying maybe she's impervious to it. You never know. You might be like the one that it doesn't affect. No, although with
Do I
your,
look dumb to
with
you?
your health issues, probably not. That's probably the weirdest. That would probably be the
Erin,
thing that kills
be
you.
sure to have water bottles.
on your vacation.
I'm going to bring some back for Kevin, and I'm going to be like, all right, it's going to be a fun game for everybody involved.
He's going to be like,
Chug.
I'm parched.
It's like
He'll be
vacation
"Here-
roulette, you
here's,
know?
here's Kevin's special water.
I'm going to be like, Kevin,
You-
chug, and
you-
we'll see how long it takes him to run to the bathroom.
When you're in Belize, you know a fun thing about Belize, believe it or not? It's where a lot of American expats go. A lot of American expatriates live in Belize because it's a very easy cost of living, for one thing.
Sign me up.
I don't think they do extradition to the U.S., so you probably
Oh,
have a lot of
geez.
criminals living there.
Right.
You know, like people who've, like, because you always see that in the movies, too. We're going to Belize, And where did they go at the end of Shawshank Redemption? Was that Mexico? Didn't
I can't remember.
Didn't Morgan Freeman find him in Mexico? I think it was in Mexico.
It's somewhere like that, yeah.
Yeah, so-
Andy Dufresne.
But
Andy
Red
Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne.
I never saw Andy
Yeah.
Dufresne again. Well, I did because I went to Mexico and I
Right.
followed his clues.
We went to wherever he went.
So
That's
I
a
have
good
to stop
movie, by the
saying I
way.
never saw Andy Dufresne again because I did.
That's right.
Well, there you go. Well, there's our vacation trip stories. Where would you like to go? Do you have a destination in mind? But by the way, beyond England and Ireland, I think
Ooh, where would you go? Yeah.
I think like one of the European countries, like maybe Italy. Italy would be fabulous.
Yeah, it would.
Eating, especially if you like eating, which I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No, the husband always wants to go back to Japan. They lived there for a couple of
Nice.
years when he was little. His dad was in the Navy, so they were there. I think he was from the ages of 2 to 4.
So he was a Navy brat.
Yeah. They moved
Tokyo,
around a lot.
Like Tokyo would be awesome to see. It's bigger than New York. Like, you've been in New York and you've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a city bigger than New York.
I know, that
Japan.
is-
That's crazy
I know.
to think about.
Yeah.
Those countries are incredible.
That'd be cool, though.
His mom, when she was still with us, she told me that he was fluent. He was fluent in Japanese.
Really?
But when they came back to the States, he didn't have anybody.
to talk
to talk
with it.
to.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens
And-
iron, so
and
yeah.
lost it,
How
yeah.
about that?
Wow.
So I'm like, what? You know Japanese?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I did know Japanese. I don't know it
Yeah.
anymore.
I think Germany would be a really cool place to go to as
Oh,
well. I with you though. I'd like to go to Japan. That'd be sweet.
That'd be
the culture
awesome.
and some of
yeah.
the temples you could go see there. That'd be
He
sweet.
just wants
get
to
it.
go to see if anything jogs his memory and
And like
You
he
never
gets
know.
it
It
back.
might suddenly,
Yeah.
boom, come all right
Yeah,
back,
yeah, who knows?
Now that he's in the environment. Well, share your vacation or your trip stories, wishes with us if you want. It's Cat Country, KAT Country, at mailzimmer.com. And we'll see you on the next KATcast.
Yeah, just remember, you can always take us with you on your vacations with the KATcast.
Yep, wherever you get your apps from.
You've been listening to the KATcast, your weekly dose of fun from the staff you know and love on 94.3 Cat Country. Click subscribe and never miss an episode. Share it on social media and tell your friends with 94.3 Cat Country.